Why does 0... It's not loading time. Why does 0 come after 9 on your keyboard? I saw the show up in my recommended. I didn't watch it. But I'm curious about this myself. Because it's kind of just like it's the layout you use, right? It's a natural layout, you get used to it. But I've never really thought about why zeros at the end. I guess we'll find out. Hopefully, unless this video is bullshit.
Keyboard and wondered, why does 0 come after 9? Why not before 1, since 0 has the least value?
Sure.
Well, as you might have guessed, the answer is typewriters. But the actual story is a lot more interesting than that. The first QWERTY typewriter was the Scholz-Glidden, also known as the Remington No. 1. Production of which...
Wait! It's not actually made by that Remington, is it? The fucking gun company. Is it actually made by that Remington? Yeah, I think it actually might be made by the gun company. It is? Of course it is. Of course it fucking is.
On the 1st of March, 1873. None of that is relevant.
Okay.
This, however, is the fact that that particular typewriter could only print uppercase letters. In addition, it had no keys for the 0 and 1 numerals. That's because typists could simply type an uppercase O to represent a 0 and an uppercase I to represent a 1.
I'm sure that didn't lead to any confusions. I wonder what funny non-gun stuff other gun companies make. Horse cum. We've had this discussion before. Glock produces horse cum. You can buy horse cum from Glock.
Because on the typewriter's font, those characters look identical. Plus, having fewer keys makes typewriters cheaper and easier to manufacture due to typewriters' complex mechanisms. In 1878, the Scholz-Glidden's successor, the Remington No. 2, introduced the ability to type uppercase letters, and with it, the first shift key on a typewriter. A later revision of the Remington No. 2, the Remington No. 2 Portable, introduced the 0 key.
Wow!
Now I know what you're thinking. Why would they do that if they can just type an O? Well, there was an official reason, but it is speculated that it's due to the fact that typing an uppercase O to represent a 0 required the use of the shift key, which was less convenient than simply typing a lowercase l or uppercase I for a 1. Now, the reason the 0 was placed next to the 9 was simply that 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on would have looked odd, since there was no 1 between the 0 and the 2. So the 0 was moved to the end of the number O, next to the 9. Many years later, the 1 key was finally added in the 1950s. The representation of 1 as its respective numeral was not proposed until 1948, and did not achieve widespread adaptation until the mid-1950s. And even after the 1 key was added, no one bothered moving the 0 back to its proper position.
Right, because you would have had people that had like 30 years of typing experience at that point, who were like, it's fine where it is. Other than gun companies like Samsung or Yamaha, just make a bunch of random shit. Remington, I'm pretty sure they make hairdryers. Yeah, Remington makes hairdryers, they make hair straighteners. I think I have a Remington... Yeah, I think my beard trimmer is a Remington beard trimmer. Yeah, they make a lot of shit. I don't know about a lot of the others. There's nothing like... If you're asking if there's a Remington that makes... Or if there's a gun company that makes fridges and cell phones, I don't think so.
The 0 remained in its position next to the 9, and even as we entered the digital age with the first computers, we continued to use that same layout. Basically, typewriter manufacturers had OCD and couldn't stand the sight of numerals arranged by value of the missing number. What's also cool is that in addition to 1, the exclamation point was also omitted from typewriters until the 1970s. Before that, if you wanted to write an exclamation point using a typewriter, you'd have to combine a period and an apostrophe using a backspace. Type a period, backspace into the previous cursor position, then type an apostrophe.
Wait, what?
Is that in addition to 1, the exclamation point...
Yeah, Yamaha makes a lot of shit.
...which was also omitted from typewriters until the 1970s. For that, if you wanted to write an exclamation point using a typewriter, you'd have to combine a period and an apostrophe using a backspace. Type a period, backspace into the previous cursor position, then type an apostrophe. Similarly, early typewriters did not include keys with plus and equal signs, so in order to type them, the user had to combine a hyphen and a colon and a hyphen and an underscore respectively. The backspace key was later utilized to erase and correct text using correction tape or fluid, which is what it's known for today. Additionally, typists who need to use diacritical marks had to use the dead key. When pressed, the dead key would not advance the typing position. It was basically a backspace with less steps.
Right.
Using that, the user would be able to, for example, combine an E and an apostrophe to generate an A. Before I finish the video, it's worth noting that almost every typewriter manufacturer made a different layout. It was mostly natural selection that determined whose typewriter layout was the most popular and which company became...
Wait, here's a question. Did typewriters ever become a thing in Japan? Because I could imagine that, like, just typing that language is a disaster. Because I don't know if print, like, I don't actually know what, like, the history of printing in Japan is.
The most successful. With that being said, that should be the end of today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Alright, it's there because it's there. Even in the early PC age, it wasn't until the PC-88 where you could do anything other than katakana and hiragana. If they did, I imagine they didn't use kanji.